Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle. We're here at Shore Leave 42 with the talented Jessie Usher. You might know him from things like Independence Day Resurgence, Survivor's Remorse, Level Up, and of course, The Boys. How are you enjoying the con?
I'm loving it, man. This is one of the few cons that I've been to that are ran by the fans, and you can definitely tell the difference. It just feels more personal. You have more time to talk and get to know people and hear their real opinions and feedback on the show and stuff like that. And I'm a people's person, so I love that type of interaction.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're having a good time. Glad you're here.
I'm having a good time.
So your first series that you actually landed, you had some roles before that, was Level Up.
Mm-hmm.
You were cast as a series regular. How did that feel? What was that like?
Oh my goodness, that was the game changer for me. I think I was acting as a hobby. I never considered it to be something that I could do professionally or make a career out of. Even though I'm sure my parents probably thought that it could always be something, I never really considered it until Level Up happened. And I was working with an incredible actor-director. His name is Peter DeLuise. His dad is Dom DeLuise, famous actor. He kind of opened my mind and just showed me that, there's a whole world out there. It's not just audition and do your role. You can create whatever you want in this industry, and you can kind of take a little bit more control. He kind of opened my eyes up a little bit, and he helped me understand the professionalism of filmmaking, and I developed an appreciation for cinematography that I just hadn't had before that. So, but it just comes with being on set often. You know what I mean? When you finally become a series regular, you get to spend all your time on set, so you get to know, the lighting, and you just get to know everybody and everything, and it kind of I fell in love with it on Level Up. So,
well, that's great to hear. And your career had an upward trajectory. You got cast as Will Smith's character's son. What was that like?
That was mind blowing. It was just, I don't know, man. It's just, I loved Independence Day. I love that movie. So when I heard of the sequel coming out, obviously my ears perked up, my eyes jumped out of my socket, but it was just larger than life. You know what I mean? I couldn't really wrap my head around what was going on until it was over. It was kind of one of those things, and that shooting that movie was the most unique filmmaking process that I had ever been a part of. So it just felt like a big kid. I had the suit on, and it was everything was green screen, and we were just running from aliens. You know what I mean? It was crazy, but it was great. I loved it.
Now, speaking of all that CGI in The Boys and Independence Day and other things, you've had to deal with visualizing a lot of things that aren't there. Have there been times that's been a little more challenging, and did the final product measure up to what you visualized?
I think it was the most challenging when I was doing Level Up, because on Level Up, that was when they were doing the tennis ball trick. The tennis ball trick, it was in order to keep all the actors looking at the same thing, they put a tennis ball on a stick and kind of move it around. And that was my first time doing anything like that. That was bizarre. And then you watch it back, you know what I mean, and you get to see what the tennis ball represents. And you're just oh, okay, I get it now. But at the time, it was really strange. But honestly, you kind of get used to it. It's just being an actor is just playing pretend like you do when you're a kid. You know what I mean? We just get to be big kids all day long.
Well, then I want to do that.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to just be a child, professionally? It's great.
Except the 5 a.m. call times and the NDAs and
5 a.m. call times, the NDAs, the 16-hour days, all that kind of stuff. It just comes with the territory.
Yeah, downside, upside.
Downside, upside.
So A-Train has had quite the journey in the last season. He's come face-to-face with racism and, the loss of his brother's mobility and a lot of things. And, whereas in season 1 you were playing the a-hole.
Yeah. Well, life has happened to him. It's slowed him down, essentially. And it's allowed him to finally feel human again, which is something that I feel like A-Train kind of lost touch with. And it's nice to kind of play that balance, though. It was interesting to jump into a role where, you have these all-powerful characters who feel like they're larger than life, and trying to, get my head into his head and figure out how his brain must work in a world where, he feels like he's untouchable. And then all of a sudden that kind of gets stripped from him, and then you have to, make a real person out of this character. And, no spoilers or anything, but now he's got a second chance at finding a balance again. So I'm really eager to see how that's going to play out.
We are too. Do you think he's going to backslide at all, into the whole, the A train?
I mean, it wouldn't be A Train if he didn't, right? I think it would be fun to see the way that he sees the world now, the way that he feels about Vought now. I think it would be really fun to see how he tries to keep himself grounded in this new position. He's all about self-preservation, so whatever that looks like, it could go real dark.
It could look like a pile of Supersonic.
Yeah, exactly. It could look like a pile of bloody Supersonic.
Do you think he feels any bad about giving up Supersonic?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, Supersonic. Nah, I feel like he's done enough things in his life that I don't know. A-Train, he's done worse. He's done worse. At least it was an indirect kill.
Okay, so let's just finish up. You're a chef. What's your favorite meal to prepare?
Ooh, that's a tough question to ask a chef. The thing about I went to cooking school. The thing about cooking school is they teach you techniques, and it just allows you to make anything. So I think the thing that I enjoy the most is that someone can give me a recipe, or I can discover a new recipe and just put a spin on it and just give it a shot, something I've never made before. I don't necessarily have a favorite thing to make. It's just because you make something different every time. Or, even if I do try to do something, the next time I make it, I want to try something different about it. You know what I mean?
So it's constantly evolving.
It's constantly evolving. It's a creative process, and that's probably why I fell in love with it.
Well, that is great to hear. A couple more quick questions, because I know they want to take you to your panel. Uh-huh. Tales of the Walking Dead, how did that happen?
Oh, my goodness. Hang on a sec. Tales of the Walking Dead, that was wild. It was, they called me, and, I heard that there was an anthology series. So, obviously, it meant, we're going to balls to the wall, do it big, and, lay everything out on the table, leave nothing, and I was all for that. Michael, the director, and Channing, the writer, super passionate about the project. So, that kind of drew me in a little bit, and I just knew that everybody was going to be, really committed. I knew this thing was going to be large scale, and it was just something different, you know what I mean? And it was something that throughout the process I became very proud of, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
We can't wait either. Anything you want to say to your fans before we end?
Love you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. Tales of the Walking Dead this fall, Smile this fall, and Boys Season 4 coming up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jesse.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, everyone, for watching, and as always, have fun and follow your fandom.
Nice.
Hi, this is Bonnie Gordon, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Make sure to like and subscribe before the self-destructs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. Have fun and follow your fandom.